Hello and welcome to the Why Fucking Not podcast. I'm Crystal,
I'm Melissa.
and we are going to run through the last two episodes of Big Brother and do a little recap
Because
because,
why
why
fucking
fucking not?
not? We're very somber. Normally we would both be in bed. So it's quarter to 10, which
I
might
know.
sound like an early time, but my God, am I normally already asleep by now?
Oh, 100%. Me too.
Yeah, but
Every time.
we're really excited about this Big Brother, I guess, after show follow along that we decided to do. Yeah,
Our
we decided
Charleston
to stay
Chew.
up our Charleston Chew. So we stayed up to watch it.
Yep.
And if you want to head over to our YouTube page and watch this, we are not wearing makeup and we look very, very dashing right
Oh,
now, I think.
yes. Yep.
I feel like I have a face for radio tonight.
It's funny
Maybe
that you
don't go to
should say
YouTube.
that because somebody actually said that to me on the phone yesterday. It's like,
A
how
face
sometimes,
for radio?
yeah, they not me, not that I do.
Oh, I was like, bitch.
No, it's just funny that I heard that turn of phrase twice now in the last couple of days.
Right? Yeah, you got a good face for radio. I thought you meant somebody said it to you. I was like, don't even. Give me their name and their address. I'm gonna fuck some shit up. All right, so we should get into it because it's past our bedtime and we have a lot to unpack there. So we'll go back. We're gonna recap Monday's episode and tonight's episode so that we can get right up to where the veto takes place and then our predictions for what we think is going to happen tomorrow night. Um, so
Spoiler
first
alert.
off, what'd you say?
Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, turn off now.
Yes, exactly. Spoiler alert. So we are going to be going through episodes 3 and episodes 4. Crystal, I'm gonna need you to say something again because you got really low that time.
Am I still here?
All right. So for anybody listening, it didn't skip a beat, but we did just have to pause and figure out some technical difficulties. So Crystal, are you still here?
I am. Can you
All
hear me?
right. I think so. It is a bit low. Are you allowed to talk really loud? I know everybody's asleep in your house right now.
No, not everybody. I'll try to talk louder.
There you go.
I'll just get like really close to the computer so you can see my whole face.
This is perfect. This is
Is
actually
it?
that's a really good volume. Yeah.
Okay, I'll stay right here.
All right. So we sidetracked a little bit. Anybody still there? We're going to get into episode 3 of Big Brother Canada. So season 9. So if you haven't seen this episode, like we were just saying before we figured out our technical issues, you should probably turn this off or just be prepared for spoilers because we're going to go through 3 and 4. And we're going to make predictions for episode 5, which would be our second eviction night. Yeah, do you have any main thoughts, Crystal, from episode 3?
I was actually super surprised at how well Austin did at that competition. Like she rocked that, and I was like, man, my arm would have been dead long ago.
Yeah, I made a lot of notes. She's my girl, and
Yeah.
we were so on the fence with her.
Yep.
So I made a couple of notes there. So there was after the eviction was over. So I like literally just started taking notes right from the get go. But after the eviction was over, Josh tried to hug Austin. He's so God love him. I'm like, I still don't want to watch him, and I'm really like, I don't want him to be on the show, but he's just awkward, and my heart kind of goes out for him a little bit because he's trying to like make these connections and it's just not happening. And he tried to hug her, and she hugged him back, but just completely walked away, and it was like, oh, it was
Yeah.
almost cringeworthy. Okay, so the ball comp where they had to drop the balls, they had this bow and arrow,
Yep.
and they had to hold on to the bow and then put these, not a bow and arrow, it's a bow, but they had to put these balls on the bow and balance it. So when they were recapping, showing different clips of everybody trying to do the endurance competition and in the diary room talking about it after, I'm way too immature to be watching it because I was laughing every time they said that somebody's balls dropped.
Yeah.
I just kept giggling. They're like, oh, well, Kiefer's balls dropped. And I was like, stop it. Every time. Every time they said so-and-so's balls dropped and it's really hard to balance what did somebody said something about, I don't remember which player it was, but she said, these balls are really heavy. Oh, I'm not mature enough to watch something that they say balls all the time because
I know.
I'm 12 in my mind.
I hear you.
What'd you think of Team Defender dropping 4 people immediately?
I kind of felt bad because I was just like, I almost thought to myself, did Kiefer like end up with the sloppy seconds from Tina's picks, or like what happened here? Did he choose these people?
I think Tina had the gut instinct. Like literally, they went like person for person, and I really think that Tina just has that good instinct on like, even though it was just judging without listening to anybody, I think she might be a really good judge of body language.
Yeah.
Because yeah, she picked a wicked team, and I'm like, you know what? I made a note. Team Defender deserves to lose if they're dropping 4 people like that. Like, you know what? It's you deserve it, right?
Definitely.
I was making a note about Tina being a beast.
Yep.
I was like, Tina's a beast. She's solid at this competition. And literally, as I'm writing it, she drops her balls.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Um.
Okay, we're back. We had another technical issue. But yeah, sorry, Crystal, you were going to say something. We had talked about how Tina just dropped her balls.
Dropped her balls. I think like I did make a note saying something about at the end of it, I guess Kiefer was like, he was super mopey. Like, and I really like him, but at the same time, I was just like, oh my God, if you don't go and talk to her, it only makes it worse. You know what I mean? Because then it's like, well, now you just think that you just don't have to talk to me. Like, you know what I mean?
Like you're creating a target.
Yeah, and he was just going around and he was being so mopey, like much like you felt Josh was last week. And I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like he just needs to go and talk to her and get it over and done with.
Nobody wants to be around the person who's constantly feeling sorry for themselves. And let me just throw that out there. That's a life lesson.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
that's not just in the Big Brother house. Nobody is going to be drawn to you if you're constantly looking for reassurance and you're like Eeyore. Eeyore still has friends. You'll still have people around, but they're not going to gravitate toward you. You know what I mean? Like you need to, especially in Big Brother, pick that shit up, put the fake smile on your face and like make a joke out of it, root for someone. Like do not sit around and be like, oh, I just need to be alone. I'm so sad. I'm going home. I can't believe I didn't do well in this. Like, well, fucking you didn't. And it's the reality of the situation. So find a twist. If you're not good at competitions, then fucking find a different side of you
somewhere else.
Yeah. I hate that. I'm so not for people who
and
for themselves.
Like, so there was a point, I think, afterwards where I found it hilarious that Josh kind of said something about how he thinks he like used his brains, almost like he manipulated everybody last week, like nobody knew what was happening. And I'm just like, no, that's not what happened at all. The only reason why Julie left over you is because of the fact that she opened her big mouth.
Yeah.
Like,
Josh
what it came down to.
He's a different bird. He's I know you wanted to like him, but I still don't like him. I'm like, go home.
But you know what it is? It's like I wanted to like him because, like I said, he seemed like he was like this confident person in his video where he was like, whatever, don't like me, it's not a big deal. That's a you problem. And I'm just like, yeah. But then now he's going around and he's like so completely opposite of that. And I don't like that.
You know what? I think he's definitely entertaining. Like he's definitely entertaining because like he's flip-flopping. Like he's got a few different personalities. Right. So I can see why he was picked to be on the show. And like I made a note even well, it's gonna be a spoiler for everybody. Whoever's listening, you know what's going to happen. So I'm just jumping ahead a little bit. But I made a note when he was like, he's up for eviction. And I was like, I swear to God, if he becomes the guy who I hate from day one, but he just keeps getting put up on the block and then survives every week because people are like, let's keep him around to be a target and get rid of the strong players. I'm going to just cry. Like,
Yeah, I know.
there's only so much Josh on TV that I can handle without being like, stop fucking moping around, like give it up. Yeah. So, okay.
It's so bad.
I'm back to where we were in competition. Yep. So it gets down to Austin and LaToya. First of all, girl power. Like, absolutely destroyed that competition. And I thought that they were both really strong players in it. Shocked by Austin's win. Not shocked, pleasantly surprised. I thought she did a great job.
Me too.
Yeah. But what did you think about LaToya right off the bat? It just gets down to two of them. And then LaToya's like, you're safe. As if Austin's going to drop and let down the team.
Yeah, I feel like she wasn't really thinking about it as a team situation at that point. Exactly. She was thinking about it as a personal win at that point, right? Yeah. So, and I mean,
it could have worked.
It could have, absolutely. But the other part of it is she was there for the team. So you could tell who was thinking about what in that situation. And I can't really blame her because, let's be honest, this is a whole other playing field than they've always had. Like normally it's just neck and neck with everybody.
Yeah.
It's never been a team situation.
And normally that's when you would start to cut a deal. Like you drop, I'm going to keep you safe, whatever. But as soon as she said it, I flipped my head and was like, what did she just say? Like, if say Austin had to take that up, because Austin just went right back at her. She's like, you're safe too. Like you drop, right? But if Austin had to take her up on that and she had to drop because she knew she was safe, she would have been target number 1 the following week because she literally she kept herself safe and then threw her whole team under the bus.
Threw everybody else under the bus. Yep.
Yeah. I was really happy to see that 1, she didn't drop, and that 2, she won, because the other side of it is if she did have to be the loser to LaToya, because LaToya said you drop, you're safe, would people have thought that maybe Austin threw the competition?
Maybe. Yeah.
Because that could have been a thought too, right? So I think that she needed that win.
Yep. I think it was a good thing. I'm glad that she got it.
Yeah, I was really pumped. I love that Team Destiny is safe. I thought Awesome was fierce. I really like her as a competitor. We're 4 episodes in now and I'm not sick of her. I like her. So
yep.
I think she's a bit safe with who she picked, but I definitely like her.
Yep.
I touched on showmances a little bit as I was making notes so I really, really want Victoria and Ty to have a showman.
It's not gonna happen.
I know, but I was so sad. And then him and Beth start making eyes at each other and flirting, and I was like, that's not the people I picked for you.
I really thought that she was gonna go for Kyle.
Who, Beth?
Yeah. I thought, right off the get-go when I was like, you know what? These two are going to hit it off, guaranteed. Right. Mm-hmm. But then, this kind of threw me for a loop. And then she started hitting it off with Ty. And then I was just like, okay, that could work.
It's working, but it's not the puppets that I want to control.
I know, but then did you see the part where Victoria was kind of talking to Ty in the room?
It was awkward. He didn't want to go for
he didn't want to be in that part.
And that was such a huggable moment. I was crying watching that when she was telling her story about foster care and group homes and everything, because that is just so real and it does hit on a whole other level.
Yeah.
So when we were watching that, or when I was watching that, I was just kind of oh my God, this is amazing. And then at the end, I was like, oh, okay, I guess they're not going to be the loves that I want them to be, but they'll probably be best friends.
Well, and that's okay. I think he just felt like he was not ready for that conversation right now. That's what it seemed like. You know what I mean?
See, I thought that he seemed ready for the conversation, but not into her in that extra level. He seemed like he was really open for it. Because if I'm remembering correctly, doesn't he fix up? He works
he's an urban
fix
planner.
Up. Yeah, right. Certain neighborhoods and stuff. So talking to her about her plans with group homes and everything, and what he does, I was like, that's a really good similar thing to have in common. I don't know. I feel like they'd be really good together.
I don't know. Maybe he just wanted to go and do something else. I have no idea.
Yeah, he was trying to get ready to leave the room. Yeah, he was like, okay, get me out of here. I'm done with this.
Yeah.
I love, how do we feel about Austin and Beth Like secret
like,
alliance that we never knew
yeah,
about.
I can't really say I'm surprised.
No.
No, I wasn't surprised by it at all. I was like, yeah, I saw that coming.
Oh, I didn't see it. I was like, that's a cool little duo. Like I thought that was great
Yeah.
because, and I don't know if a lot of people in the house see it because Beth is also now part of this other alliance.
Right. Which
But
doesn't come up until the next episode, really. But
oh yeah, it's episode 4. But
yeah,
when I was watching that, I was just kind of like, okay, so Beth's double dipping a little bit. So I don't think that alliance is going anywhere because all the people in it are double dipping.
yeah, no doubt. That's
Right.
true.
But it's one of those alliances.
Yeah.
But
the whole share steal situation, I thought for sure. I was like, guys, just everybody share. Like,
no, see, Crystal, we need to go on Big Brother together because we would be opposite. I was like,
I would lose.
steal the fucking card. Where do you think you are? You're on Big Brother. And it's not, you know what? If it was just food, yes, share.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just food. The team who stole got the advantage of a veto advantage.
Yeah, I know.
Right. So like, okay, the risk there is if we both steal, then we're all on slop. But what a small price to pay if you can convince the other side to share and then you steal. Like, yeah, okay, they're going to be gunning for you, but they're gunning for a full team. There's literally no better time to stab somebody in the back than when you're stabbing them in the back with a group of other people.
Yeah. No, you're right. Absolutely.
You
But
know,
at
like
the same
they can't
time,
go after
all I could
one
think about
person.
was if this slop is disgusting, I would be so fucking pissed.
I'd be all game for it. I'd be like, I'll take the chance of slop to get that advantage.
I
Even
would
though
legit starve to death.
the other side of it is that it's still really early in the game, and
Yeah.
Team Destiny didn't really need the advantage because they weren't
This
on
was
the
the
block.
second one already
But
that they
Team
won.
fucking what to call it? And you know what? No, Team Defender probably shouldn't have it either. Like the only two people who would want it would be Kiefer and Josh, because everybody else on the team. Well, no, I guess they would want to win the veto. Never mind. Don't mind me.
Yeah, well, they would have had to anyway.
Everybody would want.
Because.
Yeah. I was thinking that they wouldn't want one of theirs to win the veto because then it would like one of them would have to go up, but I was getting confused.
No, but you are right. I mean, if one of them did win, then obviously one of them still has to go up because the other team is totally safe, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was when they were trying to figure out that steal or share thing, I was literally like on my TV going, no, you need to steal. Like I was yelling at Team Destiny. And who was it that was on board? Is it Vera? Is that her name? Tara.
Tara. Yeah.
Tara.
She was on board
Tara
with
was
it.
like,
and Austin
why
wanted
are
to
they
do
not?
it too.
Yeah, they're like, why are they not stealing? And I'm looking at it going, yep, steal, steal, steal. But I think LaToya convinced them.
Yep.
Because that was like the negotiator that they sent over.
Yep. I think so too.
And the whole plan was to send their guy over to convince the other team that they wouldn't.
To lie.
Yeah. To lie. And he did, but then they changed.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I think LaToya is a good player there.
Yeah, I think so too. She was very convincing, obviously, because they changed their mind. Unless there's something we didn't see because we weren't watching live feeds. I don't know.
And that's the other thing. So did you know, I only found this out tonight, you can view the live feeds from Instagram.
Oh,
so not really. You click on the button that says live feeds or whatever, and it'll take you to their website. But still, it's a shortcut. So you don't, because I mean, I know you're like me. You're probably clicking on Instagram a few times a day.
Yeah.
So if you click on it, and then you can go to their page and click on live feeds, as opposed to like going to Google and typing in Big Brother Canada or whatever, right?
Right.
So,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I had a lot of opinions when they were back and forth on who they were going to nominate, but it really doesn't matter. Like they were talking about backdooring LaToya, I think maybe last week, or it might have been at the beginning of episode 3. And I thought that was a really smart decision. I was like, yeah, she's a really strong player. She's convinced all of you to share instead of steal. She's in a strong alliance with these guys. Now in episode 4, we know that she's in this Sunshine or whatever they call it.
Sunsetters. Yeah.
Sunsetters Alliance. So I'm like, that would be a really good pick of someone to like, bye, kick her out the door. Because even if she doesn't go right away, even if you keep her around for a few weeks, if she makes it to jury, she's very persuasive. She has a chance to sway the jury votes.
And like she's like such a calm and
Mhm.
but like assertive presence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Like she
well, I
has a
guess that's why she's a
target.
police officer.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Like she has a target on her back, but at the same time, I think she's gonna go far.
Yeah, I think she could
I would be
definitely.
happy if she won the game. Like
Oh yeah.
I'm definitely Team Latoya.
Yeah.
Um, oh my God. Okay. So this whole walking downstairs for the nomination ceremony, is that a Big Brother Canada thing?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it was so
Why
weird.
did this?
They don't do that in Big Brother US. So
Oh,
I was
I've
watching
never
it.
noticed that. That's weird.
Yeah. So it was like everybody sat down stairs at the bottom of the stairs. And then the music, I don't know if there's fucking music on, but it was like Austin's just walking down the staircase slowly
Yeah.
with a
Yep.
spotlight on her and they're all waiting for her. I was like, this
Yeah,
just
that's
feels like a
normal.
Cinderella story or something. You know what I mean? Like it was just
I forget that you
awkward.
never watched the first or any of the other seasons of this.
It's a
Right.
bit, yeah. So I literally made a note. I was like, is this a Big Brother Canada thing? Because
Yeah,
this
it
is,
definitely is.
yeah. Yeah. So Braden's sass face when Josh was nominated. Do you love
I
Braden yet?
loved it.
Yeah, I
I
knew you
do.
would.
When
I
he
wrote
did
it
that,
down.
I was I was just like, now that is a face I enjoy.
As when she nominated him and I saw Braden's face, I was like, Crystal's gonna like that. Like she's
Yeah.
definitely swayed to liking him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew you
Yeah,
would.
I do. I do enjoy him. I don't know. I never have a really like at the beginning, whenever I make my opinions, it's hard to make an opinion right up, especially the intro videos that they all do. Like they're just awful.
They make it out to, I really feel like Big Brother makes it so that you dislike a lot of people from the beginning.
Yeah,
Because I
maybe.
don't remember ever watching it where the first episode I liked very many people. Most times I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God, hate you, hate you, hate you, hate you.
Right? Yes. Yeah.
And I mean, I'll just like clarify. I don't hate
Like
anybody.
hate's a strong word. I just
Hate
very
on
much
a
dislike you
game
at this point.
level as a player and as somebody watching a television show. I'm sure they're all lovely people. So
Yeah.
whenever we say, oh, I don't like you and I don't like them, because I feel bad too. Like, what if, I mean, again, we're going ambitious with this podcast. We think millions around the world are listening to it right now, even though we
Yeah.
have like 80 downloads.
Right.
But really, I'm looking at it and I'm like, say if, they get kicked out and what if they stumble across it? They're like Googling Big Brother or whatever, and they stumble across these episodes that we're doing. And then we're in there
Yeah.
going, oh, I hate Josh. I hate this one. I hate that one. That probably doesn't feel very nice. So I will clarify, like,
No.
we don't hate you as people.
No.
We just do not like you as a television character.
And not to mention, I mean, like, let's be honest, it is really a snapshot of what's actually of your personality, especially right in the beginning. Like we have no
And
idea. Haven't gotten to know you.
it's also a
Right.
game that they're like not supposed to,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to be yourself. Like you are, but you're
No.
not. You
Yep.
you play it.
Yep.
So yeah, so then she came down and she nominated Kiefer and Josh. And how do you feel about those nominations?
I mean, I expected Kiefer and Josh anyway, and in all honesty,
They were safe.
yeah, I mean, and she had it was slim pickings because she only had one team to choose from and everybody else was safe. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
she kind of had to go with somebody, and they were the safe people. Like neither one of them is more so a threat than another one, I don't
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, it
And
wasn't really like a power move, but it was
no.
definitely like an easy choice. She had reasons to nominate them
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
And they were both people that the house wanted to get out. I just don't want to see a season where everybody just keeps voting with the house. Like whoever the
Yeah.
majority wants to go home and everybody votes together and nobody swings votes and nobody thinks for themselves because it's such boring TV.
It is, yeah.
Like
Definitely.
it's just boring. And then you're like, oh my God, I wonder who's going home this week. And you always know
Right.
who's going home. Like I want the blind side. I want the surprise shocked face. I want the back door.
Mhm.
Like, give me some
Yeah.
juice,
Yeah. It has
So
to be good stuff.
yeah, so
But
far it's a bit stale with noms, but it's like
yeah.
it's the first official nominations, really.
Well, and this is it, right? I mean, like the first couple of weeks are never really good anyway because I find like nobody really shakes it up. Nobody knows each other enough that that they really
Mhm.
have any ill will against somebody specific. and you're just kind of like weeding out a couple of people here and there until they really start to play.
Yeah, and you can like see true colors.
Yeah, right.
For sure.
But almost thought at one point that Kiefer had cut his mullet off, nearly died.
Oh, heartbreak.
I was like, oh, thank God it's only a ponytail.
Oh, Kiefer. How did you feel when they exposed the Sunfitters Alliance? Were you surprised?
I was a little bit, because I guess we hadn't really seen a whole lot of them kind of combining in yeah, exactly, right. So, and I have to agree, I mean, some of them are very strange. It's a strange mixture. So like it's definitely could fly under the radar for a little while.
I wrote down Tina's quote, "We're a mixed bag of tricks."
Right, loved it.
That was so good. Oh yeah, I was really excited. I made a note. I said Tina's in the line, so I'm like pumped for Tina, because I do think she's gonna slide on for a little bit. Before like, I think she's gonna at least make it to jury. If not, she could probably win it all, because I think her personality will keep her going. But yeah, I was like, Tina's in an alliance, but it's not a strong one. Because I definitely think that. I think it's a good idea to have the mixed bag of tricks. But I just don't think it's strong, because I think, a couple more people leave the house and they're going to start turning on each other. The personalities clash. They're all like, most of them are also in other alliances. So I think that they'll just be more loyal to the other alliances.
Yeah, it's just like it is a very weird alliance. Like, just sitting down. I mean, like, if I was to sit down and say, okay, well, these people, obviously, like Latoya and Ty and Jedson, like they were all together right from the beginning anyway, so that kind of made sense. I feel like the funny part is that I kind of expected Tina and Kiefer to pair up a little bit, even though they're team captain. Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, because they were the first two in the house together, so they really, I mean, like they had a chance to meet each other before anybody else got in there.
Right. Yeah. So I kind of expected them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like what's her name? Beth?
Yeah.
Beth? Yeah. Okay. Yes. I feel like she's just kind of like the odd person just thrown in there. You know what I mean?
Super, like, wacky and perky, hey?
Yeah, she is.
I
but I kind of like her.
No, I'm thinking of somebody else. Yeah, okay. I do kind of like her.
Yeah.
Did you see when they were all rapping?
I was like, man, how long did they like practice this before it actually went on TV?
So first I thought that it was freestyle.
Yeah.
And I was watching it, and then they started handing it to other people, like this one will go next and that one will go next, and I was like, like I was starting to feel anxious.
I panicked.
Because can you imagine being in that situation? Exactly. Like, I don't want the ball. You take it back. Like, it's your turn. I no, I can't. Like, what would I say?
No joke. Like, if it had to be like pre-arranged kind of thing, they must have had some practice or something, because in all honesty, if that happened while we were kind of just there, I'd be sitting there, I'd be like, next.
I pretend that I had to pee and I'd just leave. That's a lie. You know me. I would have joined in and rapped, but it would have been awful. Like, I probably would have been like, my name is Melissa.
It wouldn't have even rhymed.
Right? I just rapped it. I just did it. That was my freestyle. We're there. Right? Yeah, no, I was really embarrassed for them. And that's all I was thinking. I was like, and then when they finished, I thought, okay, that had to be planned.
Had to be. Like, I would
but it was really cool.
Stupid, like friggin', like I'd suddenly try to rhyme with orange. Like, nothing rhymes with orange. Like,
just go blank.
Right.
Yeah, no, it was really good. And it it hyped me up. Because then at the end, they're all like, whoa. And I was just like, yeah, it was so fucking good. Like,
well, it kind of makes you think, right? Like, you got all this time and you have no TV to watch and you have no, like, social media. Like, you're just stuck there.
Because
what would you do with all of this spare time?
And you're not allowed to, like, okay, I might be getting things wrong from American and Canadian, but are you allowed, like, I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to bring any books or any paper or pens either. Like, you don't even you can't even write. Like,
no.
Yeah, like,
right.
That's crazy. That's hard. So yeah, of course you're gonna rap. You gotta do something.
You're gonna do something. Like
That's
I would
crazy.
become the weirdest version of myself, which is really not that difficult.
I would love to see that. I would love to see us unravel in a Big Brother house. Like, I'd love to see me going in on day one, all confident and being like, I'm going to win this. Don't be a little bitch. And then day 4, I'm like, I miss my daughter and my husband. And I hate all of these
Yes.
people. Cause let's be honest. We're on the outside looking in with our regular lifestyle, but
Yeah.
these people are completely cut off from the world. They have no idea what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they put people in jail to do like mess with their minds. Like,
Yeah.
this is kind of like a very luxurious jail cell where, people are nice to you and you get to eat food, like, good food and whatever. But
Sometimes.
it's a mental thing. Like, the reason that the game is so interesting, aside from the competitions, it's the mental side of it. It's checkers, or it's chess.
No, it's not checkers. It's chess.
It's checkers. Sometimes it's checkers. They go with the house constantly. It's checkers. It's like there is no thought behind that.
Right. I feel like we
So
just kind of like paid homage to Mickey
yeah,
from the Big Brother America.
I found his TikTok.
Did you?
It's really, I don't know. I did not like it. It was super embarrassing. I don't know. There was like one episode of him crying in the car, looking at the camera, being like, real men cry. I'm like, cool, but they don't turn their cameras on to do it. Like, it was just like, what? Like, what? I don't understand. So I'm a crier. I'm a crier. I don't remember the last time I cried, where my first instinct was, I better record this
And put it on TikTok.
and put it on TikTok for everybody to see. So yeah, it's really cringy. I looked at him twice. I went through like a couple of videos, and then I was like, no, it's so weird. Yeah, it's so weird. So
yep.
Sidestep.
So back to Canada.
Back to Canada. Is it a Canadian thing that the HOH cannot play in competitions, or is that just is that new? In veto, sorry.
Maybe it's
because I thought that was wild. Because usually it's the HOH and the two.
Yeah, usually they're allowed to. It's just maybe it has some more to do with the teams this time. Just maybe we'll find that changes again.
Yeah, because I was like, what? Like, oh, that kind because that takes away all your power. You're already HOH. You put up these nominations, and now you don't even have any control on if they stay the same. Like your fate is put in somebody else's hands to go get that
that's
veto.
the first time that I've ever noticed that. But I'll maybe, like I said, maybe it has more to do with the fact that they're still in teams right now, and maybe that'll change in the next one once they divide. Break
I'm
up
hoping
the whole
they
house
divide
kind of
soon,
thing.
because the teams is cool, but I'm like, okay, split
I'm
now.
bored of it.
Like, I want to see people start going at each other's throats. I don't want this whole team camaraderie.
Yep. Also,
awful.
when they opened up the Have Not room, LaToya's face, priceless.
All I could think about was kids who pee in the balls.
Yeah.
Like I know that it's a group of adults, and it's, obviously sanitized, COVID especially.
Clearly,
so
COVID.
It's like extra sanitized.
Yeah.
But as soon as everybody, they opened up the room, I was like, don't get in there. You're not supposed to get in there.
Is that what you were thinking? Because my initial thought was like, I was in there with Victoria, and I was just like flopping around, having a time in the balls, because I knew that they had to be sanitized.
Yeah, but I guess it's like I knew, like in my mind I know, but my subconscious is like, there's probably pee in there.
My subconscious was like, why am I seeing a Band-Aid?
I almost just spit out my water, Crystal.
Because legitimately that happened when I was a kid. So
yep. Pee or Band-Aids or both.
Yep. Gross.
How do you feel about Ro and Tara?
Again, a kind of an unlikely pairing that I kind of thought, but at the same time, they seemed like really be hitting it off, and I think that they could play really well together.
I think so. Again, we haven't really seen a whole lot with competitions, but I feel like both would be good at competitions. Yeah, Tara seems like she would be really focused, and she also seems athletic.
Yeah.
So I definitely think she would do well, and Ro, same thing, right? Yeah. Is this a ghost we're looking at? What are you looking at? Is there a child
Ethan.
there?
Okay. It was Ethan. Yeah.
I saw you look once, and then I saw you look a second time. I'm like, is there like a little angel on her shoulder? Like, don't say that. For anybody listening and not watching on YouTube, because I keep forgetting, like I'm to the point now where we see each other so often
Yeah,
that
I
I
know.
forget that this is a recording for people's ears,
To see.
not their eyes. So I keep like, saying what I'm seeing and
Yeah.
not realizing that I have to describe it a little bit better. So I will work on that, listeners.
Yeah,
I will
we're
work
working
that.
on it.
But yeah, no, I definitely like that duo, and I think that if they do stay together, that they could go really far.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
So POV competition.
How'd you feel about it? Like that
First
looked hard.
off, we had the discussion all while we were watching it. It was just like, why do they have to keep going back and forth? Like, couldn't they have loaded it up and went back just once? Or was there a minimum? Because maybe I missed that in the instructions.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we might have to like rewatch and clarify because the other thing is we had to watch that right away and then record now. So that's something that like had we had a little bit of time to keep watching it, we could have figured it out.
Yeah.
And
maybe if I had rewound it.
Zoom is hitting me up with a 9-minute countdown now.
Okay.
On our podcast. But yeah, so basically I wasn't really sure if they had to go back and forth so many times. So I was a little bit confused because I was thinking same as you, load it up. But I guess when you load it up and you walk it back over, it looked like a really hard competition. So the amount of apples that keep falling and maybe I just thought that like when the apples fell, you had to reset and start from scratch.
Right, me too.
So I think,
but it didn't
I think I didn't really understand that. But Kiefer won. What the fuck was Josh doing?
Oh my God. That's literally what my paper says. I was like, Josh drives me to no end. And then I was like, what the fuck on POV?
Yeah, like that was my note too. I literally wrote WTF is Josh doing?
Right. But at the same time, it was like, I was sitting here going like, he's wasting all this time. What is happening here? And he was basically trying to balance out the same size apples in the friggin' shape of it, which was kind of smart actually. Because
it
when
ended
he
up
got
being
there,
pretty smart. Yeah.
Yeah, like by the time that he loaded up everything and went back over a couple of times, like he had significantly increased the amount of apples like very quickly.
See, his brain is wired differently and it worked out for him. It almost worked out for him because he didn't win.
Nobody was close.
He was close, and Kiefer, he almost fucking lost it.
I know.
Like, come on, you get too cocky, people.
Right.
Yeah, I have
Like,
a few more notes here about.
Over.
I have a pile of notes here about Josh during that competition, which it's just me being like, "What are you doing?" And then I wrote one that says, "I really don't think that I would get along with him on a personal level."
I don't know. And then even like when at the end of the competition, and so Kiefer won, and then he goes off into the room, and then Josh is there getting changed and stuff. And like I almost kind of felt really bad. I don't know. Maybe that's his underwear.
Oh, it's so distracting. I was like, what are you doing?
But like, I kind of almost felt really bad because it was like he was trying to say, okay, congratulations, I just got to try to work with you kind of thing. And then Kiefer was just like, no, bye.
Yeah, just walked out. Like, yeah, that was. And that was where I started to feel really bad for him too, because I was like, you know what? Like,
I had a moment.
He's been lonely.
Like, right? I kind of felt like his mom. I was just like, oh, this poor guy.
Like, friends with my kid. Yeah, no, I did. I had to say, like, he drives me on TV, but at the same time, I definitely felt bad that like it seemed like people just kept, no matter what he did, and he didn't do anything weird. Like, he wasn't being awkward.
No.
Everybody else was like pushing him away. Like from episode 1.
Yeah. Like, and I wonder if like right at the beginning he was so kind of aloof that he did that to other people, and then that's what they kind of picked up from him. So that's what they're doing to him, because you know what I mean? But I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I wrote a note. Everyone walks away from Josh. I almost feel bad for him.
Yeah.
I did like seeing Kiefer celebrate though. How nice was that?
I did too. Yeah,
like
I did
that.
too.
That made me really happy. He was so pumped. Like,
He was so
they're
happy.
great.
He really didn't think he could do it. I mean, he even said it to Tina and Latoya. Like, he wasn't confident whatsoever.
I don't think anybody thought he was going to do it. You know,
Maybe
well, I
not.
think they did, but I also think like Victoria threw the competition. Was anybody else other than Josh and Kiefer really going for that competition?
You
The
know,
people who were playing were not people at risk,
no, exactly.
right? So it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
I did make a note though, because I'm mad about the steal. I'm mad. So I made a note and I said maybe they should have picked steal so that they would have an advantage and they could be
Right.
able to keep noms the same. Just
Yeah.
saying. Like if they had to fucking go back, like Big Brother is handing you like a
This
win. It's like,
option.
hey, we're gonna give you an advantage in this competition. All you have to do is hurt somebody's feelings.
Yeah. I think they were probably just thinking that it was so early still that they didn't want to, because what would have happened is like, it's not just putting a target on one person's back, it's putting a target on the entire team.
Right. So it's
You
better
know what I
because
mean?
that target becomes a shield.
I guess. I mean,
There's
I
too
think they
many
were,
people.
yeah, there's too many people. It's like, who do you target then? Right.
It's also hard too when you have to make a group decision because
Well,
it's not
I
up to
can't
you.
even work in group projects, for God's sake. So, you know what I mean? Ugh.
Oh, I know. I do love that the house is a giant advertisement. Like everywhere you go. It reminded me of Josie and the Pussycat Dolls. Do you remember that movie?
No.
Oh my God. Okay, so I don't know if it's late 90s, early 2000s, but it's Josie and the Pussycat Dolls. It used to come on Much Music all the time.
Okay. Yeah.
So anyway, it's and who's in it? I think Josie is the girl from She's All That. I can't remember her name now.
Rachel something maybe. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
She's like this really cute, pretty girl. Like, she had dark hair and She's All That.
Yeah.
She was the one that like went from the ugly duckling to
Yeah, she took off her glasses and she was really hot.
right, like shocker. Anyway, like,
So
what is it?
I
Clark Kent and Superman.
yeah, so she's Josie in Josie and the
Yes,
Pussycat
right.
and or Pussycat Dolls, and the whole movie is like it's a big joke about like subliminal advertising and stuff. So like the
Right.
entire movie, they're in the middle of a scene and it's something serious, but then there's like a big like I don't know, for example, like Royale toilet paper ad behind them, like on a bus or something, like a place that you would see ads, but it's just like amplified. So
Right.
the Big Brother house reminds me of that because they're in like they go to the kitchen and it's just sunlight everywhere and it's like Wendy's, OLG. They were in
Oh
the
yeah.
like the what do you call it, foosball table, and it's like a
Yep.
big advertisement for the lottery. I'm like, this house rocks. I love that.
Yeah.
Subliminal, but in your face advertising. That I don't know. I thought it was really cool.
Again, see, I forget that you've never done the Canada one. Like, Wendy's is always there.
Yeah.
Always.
Oh man, it was
One
just
year
so
they had
good.
skipped the dishes too, like as
Remember, I feel like I saw some episodes from that because I do feel like I remember a skip the dishes Big Brother thing.
and now I'm like, maybe that was American. Not sure now. But anyway.
Okay, that makes sense. Oh my God.
Yep.
When Josh was talking to Kyle.
Did I miss
And
that?
Kyle was like, he didn't have a clue what Josh was talking about. Josh was like talking in circles about his strategy, and Kyle's like, and you could see his face. It was like he was an actor
Just
trying
like,
to stay in character. Like he could not keep himself from smiling because he was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
yeah. Well, that's the thing though. Like, and I think that's probably what puts people off from him, is that like you can't pick any friggin' sense out of it.
Yeah, he
Like,
does talk in circles.
yeah, he talks in circles. Then then when he was up talking to himself, he seems to think that he's like this strategic master, but realistically he's like, oh well, who am I going to make up an alliance about this week? And it's like, do you think that maybe if you try that again, what's going to happen is they're going to be like, oh well, he's clearly just making this up. Like,
and then he said about like maybe I'm going to shake the house up this week or whatever, and I was like, you know what, if you turn the house upside down, you're 100% going home.
Yeah,
like you're just gonna go home. Like what he needs to do is figure out a way to flip the house on Roe, but I don't know if that's possible.
No,
I don't know if that's possible.
I don't think he can do it.
No, I think his fate is sealed.
Yeah, I think so too.
I definitely do. Yeah, I knew she was gonna pick Roe. I did make that.
I kind of thought so too. I was just like, I mean, like that was where she was going anyway, I think.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
There was no way that she was putting up Jed, I didn't think.
No.
It would just
Or Latoya and
No.
Tara trying to change her mind.
I know. She
I
did
was-
give it a good try though.
She did, but you could tell right from the start, like Austin was she was given the nod and smile. Austin turned into my husband when I'm trying to talk to him and he's on the computer. I was like,
Yes,
I knew
absolutely.
as soon as she started talking, I was like, this girl is not listening to a thing you're fucking
No.
saying.
All she's thinking is, I just really want to go and get cleaned up and wash my face.
Mhm.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's what she was. Yeah.
Yeah,
So who do you think it's going to be? Josh or Ro?
Josh. Like,
Yeah.
bye. Bye, Josh.
I think so too.
Yeah, time to go home.
I do. I think it's going to be him. You know, like I said, I do feel bad for him a little bit because he's so awkward,
Well, yeah.
I guess. And like,
But it's Big
you know,
Brother.
I know.
That,
And
you
I know,
it's your social game is part of it.
yeah, exactly. And he's just not good enough socially.
Yeah, I think so too.
Right.
Well, Crystal, we are going to end it there and sign off.
Mhm.
And stay tuned for Friday's episode where we chat with two queers in the woods.
That's right.
And